Welcome to Stupid Christian Comments, Episode 8. This video series presents some of the amazingly stupid comments by Christian YouTubers on my channel's debates and videos. Here are this week's top 5 picks. We start 2014 off with an absolutely amazing guest, DarkMatter2525, who has graciously accepted an invitation to present the comments for this week's episode. If you haven't watched his videos or subscribed to his channel yet, you've been missing out. Johnny creates some of the best content on YouTube, and I am beyond honored to have him participate in my video series.
Hi everybody, my name is Johnny. Many of you may recognize me a little better as God or Jeffrey on my channel, which is known as DarkMatter2525. I make comedic cartoons roasting religion. But today, I'm going to read you some comments which you should probably pay attention to because they concern the fate of your eternal souls. So let's get started, shall we?
Up first is McChulo, who said,
The sun consumed 5 million tons of hydrogen every second. If it had been doing that for more than 10,000 years, it would have consumed the Earth already. In the moon landing, it was expected that the moon would have many feet of dust due to its million years collecting dust. It was found to only have inches of dust on its surface, equaling to approximately 6,000 years, NASA stated. The real scientists who go to space know the deal.
It is true that the sun consumes 5 million tons of hydrogen every second. However, it is incorrect to conclude that the sun and the universe must be less than 10,000 years old. The first issue with your conclusion is that it assumes that the sun shrinks at a constant rate, which is not what leading scientists believe. This shrinking sun argument is a naive extension of a rate measured over a relatively short period of time. Who is to say that the sun does not go through a cycle of expansion and contraction on a timescale beyond that which we have measured? Also, the sun accretes mass by attracting and absorbing asteroids, meteors, and space debris. To put it in perspective, 3,000 such masses land on Earth each day, and the sun is 333,000 times as big as the Earth. Now on to this matter regarding the moon. This creationist argument is based upon obsolete evidence and has been kicking around for over 25 years, and has been entirely discredited through numerous debates and books. Even Answers in Genesis, a creation science organization, no longer recommends to their fellow creationists to use the moon dust argument as it's been fully debunked. The Apollo 17 crew determined that the lunar impact material is about 20 to 40 feet deep on the lunar plains and up to 120 feet deep in the lunar highlands. It's also important to note that with catastrophic collisions, the moon's dust would have moved, blasted off the surface, and even fused into rock. For a detailed history of this argument and its full scientific rebuttal, check out the link in the description. Regardless of the claim religious people make, their beliefs come first, and evidence is imagined into existence post hoc. This is ass backwards. Next we have Aijalon Halmela Lialani, who said,
Atheists don't believe in any religion, yet I consistently see percent 99.9 of the time Christian bashing. Christians aren't here to force or condemn anyone. There is a phrase, there is no such thing as an atheist on their deathbed. I hope that's true, because the absolute second you take your last breath, you will descend into the worst place you could possibly imagine. Not to God's doing, but your own, for your mockery and rudeness towards the almighty lover of your soul. His mercy expires for a sinner when their death occurs. Do not continue walking down this unbelieving road Satan has paved. Do not be on the losing side on Judgment Day. You will be meeting your Creator.
The reason that atheists give more attention to debunking Christian claims over claims by other religions is in large part due to the prevalence of Christianity in culture, politics, and media. In a 2012 poll, 73% of those polled in the United States of America identified themselves as Christian, and in the United Kingdom, a 2011 poll showed that 59% of the population considered themselves Christian. In such Christian-heavy countries, it is logical to expect more discussion on Christian claims than, say, on the claims by Hindus, which represent 0.4% of the population in the USA. While I do not advocate bashing anyone, I do encourage educated dialogue and criticism of beliefs, be they political, social, or religious in nature. In regards to the claim that there are no atheists on their deathbed, this is both untrue and irrelevant. Fear is not a valid reason to start believing in anything. Fooling oneself of life after death may make the dying person feel temporarily better, but it does not in any way substantiate a belief in God or the supernatural. Fear in going to hell is also not a good reason to believe in God. Fear of death is a natural response because as sentient beings we want to live longer and experience more from life than we may be able to due to biological limitations. Fear of hell is psychological abuse perpetrated by the religious. Beliefs should always be based upon reason and evidence, and never on fear and panic. Up next is VD8M9, who said,
Atheists also have a religion, which is logic. But logic is limited by the human brain. There are things that humans cannot comprehend, cannot explain in even the most complex languages. For example, try explaining color to a blind man who has never seen in his life. It simply cannot be done. For a Christian to explain God is like asking an ant to explain the whole world. What little evidence of the outside world that has fallen inside the anthill cannot suffice to convince one who believes?
Logic, as defined by Merriam-Webster, is a science that deals with the principles and criteria of validity of inference and demonstration, the science of the formal principles of reasoning. Logic is not and cannot be a religion. If you mean to say that atheists are fundamentally opposed to illogical, irrational beliefs, then you are correct. However, this in no way can be categorized as a religion, unless you distort the meaning of the word to such an extent that it can be applied to anything and everything and therefore lose all meaning. There are perhaps things that the human brain cannot comprehend, or do not yet understand, but to assume and believe in a God or the supernatural is justified because we lack a certain understanding is beyond naive and premature. For all intents and purposes, color means nothing to a truly blind person. Color does not exist except in the way reflected light is focused in the eye and processed by the brain. The world as seen through the eyes of a dog or other animal is very different, and we have very good naturalistic explanations for all of this. Religious claims are nothing more than fantasy, desire, and an excuse to believe in what you want to be true when reality may not be comfortable to bear. To all theists, if you take anything away from this video, please consider the following. Exceptional claims require exceptional evidence. An ancient text full of mythical stories, archaic morality, and misinformation is not exceptional evidence, no matter how much you wish it were. Ed2C is next with,
Richard Dawkins is not an atheist. His allegiance is with the synagogue of Satan. Most of scientific theories, like the Big Bang, age of universe, etch, comes from the ancient Kabbalah, which involves the worship of demons and false angels. Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism, says God created both good and evil. Satan is just God's helper to test humanity and will be redeemed in the end. I am sure Dawkins is not ignorant of this and only plays dumb. He is just another player in Lucifer's legion.
Here we have someone who has fallen off the wagon of sanity. Ed2C sounds like a raving conspiracy theorist, however with a supernatural satanic twist. Kabbalah is one of the most misunderstood parts of Judaism. These misunderstandings stem largely from the fact that the teachings of Kabbalah have been so badly distorted by mystics and occultists. Kabbalah was popular among Christian intellectuals during the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods, who reinterpreted its doctrines to fit into their Christian dogma. In more recent times, many have wrenched Kabbalistic symbolism out of context for use in tarot card reading and other forms of divination and magic that were never a part of the original Jewish teachings. Belief in God and Lucifer, heaven and hell, angels and demons, and armies of God and Satan is beyond irrational and venturing into the absurd. You are better to believe in the stories of Star Wars which involve remotely possible characters and places over such transparently fictitious and inconceivable beings. The internet is truly the hotbed of all sorts of bizarre people, and their even more off-the-wall beliefs. And last on our list this week is a comment from Lamented Haven who said,
I am in no way shaken by atheist evolution. Trust me, I fear God, and you should too, and one day you will fear him at the white throne of judgment. If I thought for 1 second God wasn't holding our earth up, I would be extremely afraid of plummeting into perpetual darkness. Answer this. The heart can't beat without blood flow. The blood can't flow without the beating heart. Which came first in the evolution process? Pwned.
There is no such thing as atheist evolution. There's only evolution. It perplexes me how in the 21st century some Christians still deny the evolutionary process. How is it that so many Christians can easily incorporate evolution into their beliefs, yet some reject it like wildfire? Clearly, many Christians believe in a God and in the message of Jesus while at the same time accept the evidence of evolution without finding conflict. Onto this fear of God. If you believe that God exists, and that He is the source of all goodness, compassion, truth, and knowledge, and you think you follow the religion most in line with His wishes, why would you fear Him? Why is fear a good thing? I love my parents a lot, and I respect them immensely. They created me, nurtured me, and facilitated in my education. What would it say about our relationship if I feared my parents? It would suggest that violence, intimidation, and abuse was part of my childhood, and that my relationship is not one of respect and love, but rather disregard and hate. Why would any rationally minded person will themselves to believe in anything so repulsive? In regards to your question regarding the evolution of the heart, here is a brief snippet that may answer your question. Pause the video to read, or find the link in the description. There you have it. 5 stupid comments from 5 different YouTubers. Which comment would you vote to win the Dumbass of the Week award? Would it be 1. Young Earth creationist McChulo, who thinks that the sun and moon prove the Earth is less than 10,000 years old. 2. Aijalan Halamela Liliani, who thinks that there are no atheists on deathbeds. 3. VD8M9, who thinks that atheists are parishioners of the Church of Logic. 4. Ed2C, who thinks Richard Dawkins is a player in Lucifer's Legion. Or 5. Lamented Haven, who fears a god he presumably loves. Please leave your votes and comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, press the like button and share with your family and friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. If you would like to submit a video or audio reading of an upcoming stupid comment, contact me at veganatheist@hotmail.com. Thanks for watching. Want to see more? Click subscribe and keep an eye out for the next Stupid Comments video coming out next Friday. Follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Google+ pages. Links are in the description. Lastly, head over to my channel and check out all the debates, presentations, and videos.